I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, shit.
What is going on, movie lovers and bud smokers, and welcome back to another episode of 5 on It. I am Francisco.
And I'm Sir Frazier.
And on today's episode, the John Carpenter review train continues. Today, we are reviewing a movie that is probably not heard about or talked about as much as maybe his other classics. But today, we are reviewing his 1988 science fiction action horror film, They Live.
Cult classic.
Yes, sir.
You get out or I call the cops.
Call the cops? You know what you need? You need a Brazilian plastic surgeon.
I've got one that can see.
But before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, drop some comments below, drop some of your favorite John Carpenter movies. Maybe They Live is one of your favorite movies. Drop some of your favorite moments as well. Sir Frazier, tell the people what we're smoking on.
Man, so we are smoking on a Moon Rock blunt. This is LA Cookies, and this is it's an indica.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Indica leaning, but it's a hybrid, to be clear. But
and it's burning very evenly.
oh, yeah.
Whoa, snap. Already got me going.
You know, yeah, you know, this is funny, man. We ended up deciding to do a Carpenter double feature, and we hadn't done a horror movie in a minute. And we also, I don't think we'd reviewed a Carpenter movie yet. No. We haven't. And I mean, he's an icon within the horror genre. He's given us, I would say, at least 2 classics between Halloween and The Thing. But he is widely respected, very opinionated too, dude. I saw an interview with him where he was asked about Spielberg, De Palma, and George Lucas. And this was in 78, 79. And he didn't have much praise to say about either of those. He said, you know, Jaws was good. You know, it's all right.
He's not held.
But he was exceptionally critical of a movie we reviewed recently, which is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He actually shared some of the same thoughts that you and I had talked about, which it felt bloated. It felt a little directionless at times, like he was trying to cover too much ground. But he said this on camera in an interview. And he even said about one director, he said, yeah, I don't think he's a good filmmaker. He said this about...
Which director?
It wasn't any of the 3 I mentioned. It was another director who was making some horror movies around that time. I never heard of him, so I can't recall a name off top. But he was very opinionated. And imagine like Ryan Coogler saying, yeah, you know, I'm not really a fan of any of my peers' work. I mean,
yeah, like I'm not a fan of Denis Villeneuve, or Martin Scorsese.
I don't care if he Ari Aster. You know, he's not a good filmmaker. Like, I'm just like, God damn.
I mean, I kind of respect the balls, though.
I do respect it, but that kind of candor isn't very common.
But also, and it's like,
to my ears.
To me, it's like, who are you talking about as well when you say like, oh, this is not a good filmmaker or something like that? Like, take like a sports analogy. It's like if you're a LeBron or MJ. Charles Barkley, Kevin Garnett, like some of these Hall of Famers, and you're talking down to like some other peers, like, yeah, it could come across fine because like, yeah, they've done their work, so they kind of know what they're talking about. But it's like, if you're John Carpenter, like, let's say if he's talking about a Spielberg, I'm like, bro, you're talking about Spielberg? I think, John, you better know your place.
Well, to be fair, this was also, like I said, in 78 or 79. It might have been right around this time of Halloween. But...
Because granted, like John Carpenter's movies, like he has some classics.
He does,
without a shadow of a doubt. But I did
there's
think
levels.
It took some time though, also for like even like The Thing. It wasn't really regarded very great when it got released.
No, it wasn't.
So like
this wasn't well regarded either at the time of its release.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like I respect the balls, but also it's like, man, know what you're putting out too. It's like you're not putting out heavy hitters. I mean, granted they have become heavy hitters, but. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, John. You may want to check yourself.
Yeah. Well, so for those of you who haven't seen this movie, this quick summary: a lone drifter stumbles upon a unique pair of sunglasses that reveal aliens are systematically gaining control of the Earth by masquerading as humans and lulling the public into submission. This movie stars Roddy Piper,
Rowdy.
Keith David, and Meg Foster. So it was interesting reading back all the background behind this. So this, I guess he took inspiration from a comic strip by Ray Nelson called 8 O'Clock in the Morning. I guess it was kind of like a Lovecraftian, kind of alien, sci-fi horror story. But he was inspired by that, and that's kind of where the concept of this whole movie came about. One thing I did want to say about this, though, I've seen probably a handful of Carpenter movies. This feels like his most politically conscious movie. Like the political themes, like the satire. This movie has aged well for me. I think its themes are just as prevalent and relevant to the times as it was in the 80s. And I think that in an industry, we live in a moment right now where we're seeing a lot of reboots and a lot of remakes. And I'm usually on the fence when it comes to those, but this movie could easily merit a sequel or a reboot, because these themes about consumerism, mindless consumerism, the rejection of the constant need for validation through material gain and things like that. That's more prevalent now because of how omnipresent screens are.
Yeah.
And the shadow of social media. Like, this story is absolutely relevant to today.
I wonder if, this, I felt like, maybe it's just like completely irrelevant, but it's kind of popped in my mind when I was watching it. I feel like it had like some shades of Matrix to it. I mean, Matrix took like just some aspects to it, fact of like you're not really living in like this real world. If like you have like this world of kind of like what you see with like the naked eye, but then once you put the glasses on, you're kind of seeing exactly what like the true nature is. And I felt like maybe Matrix maybe took some inspirations maybe for that, as far as just like breaking like the worlds down of like this world and like the real world of like what they want you to see and what they don't want you to see.
This movie, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about The Matrix, but two movies that I did think about, and they're both related. Alice in Wonderland and They Clone Tyrone. Like, I feel like, when... first of all, I got to give a shout out. I love the use of the shades as like a MacGuffin. I thought that was like a really cool idea. Because, usually you think about rose-tinted lenses, right? Seeing the light, seeing the world through these rosy-colored lenses, thinking shit's sweet, and it ain't.
I didn't even think about that part, too.
Whereas for them, when he puts the shades on, he sees the reality.
Yeah.
And that to me, like the first time, we'll get to it, but that scene where he first puts the shades on and he's walking down the street and seeing the billboards, that was a highlight for me. But I love that we also kind of like our main character. First of all, the casting of the two main characters was great. I thought Keith David and him offered interesting perspectives on America at that time from a black working class and a white working class perspective. Because Keith David, when they actually connect, right, in the first act, they meet at the construction site. Roddy Piper is looking for work. He left Denver. Keith David's character is from Detroit. He's got two wife and kids, and he's basically a traveling worker just trying to get money to help fend for his family. And he's very jaded, right? Whereas Roddy Piper, he has that line. He's like, I believe in America, I'll get my chance. I'll get my shot. He's still like, he's still caught up in the American dream. Yeah. Right. Whereas David is far more cynical. Yeah. Sorry. What are your thoughts about the first act? Because I know it's a little slow. That's my biggest gripe about this movie.
Man, I was just thinking when the movie does like start like kind of slow. You're getting Roddy Piper's character, and I think he's just called. He's referred to as Nada. you're just kind of seeing him. You're hearing like a pretty decent score.
Score's great.
By Gary B. Kibbe.
Very bluesy.
Oh, no, that's cinematography. My bad. I'm not sure who did the score. Oh, music. Oh, John Carpenter did the music as well. To go with Alan Howarth. But
Just like he did in Halloween.
Oh, John Carpenter did that theme?
John Carpenter did the theme for Halloween.
Oh, why is that? Damn. Interesting enough. But you're just kind of seeing Rowdy Piper's character, like just kind of going through the city and just wandering around.
Looking
and
for work.
Not much dialogue is even getting shown or getting like you're hearing anything. So it does feel like it's kind of going a little bit slow. And then once you do meet Keith David's character, Piper is kind of being a little bit of a creep too. He's kind of just like following the guy. David kind of goes up to him and he kind of hits him with like, pretty much he's just trying to help him out a little bit. But Piper is just like
standoffish.
Yeah, very standoffish. And I don't know, like that first act just felt a little bit slow.
Yeah,
up until like the moment where like you actually see, or not see, but like once the cops kind of raid the little place. That's a pretty good action scene. And then that's where I feel like things kind of get on and popping, because that's when Piper goes back. He busts down the wall. He grabs this box. He finds a bunch of sunglasses.
Confused that motherfucker.
Yeah, and then he pops them on, and then that's when he notices like the grate just changes color in a way, like everything's like black and white. And after that, I feel like the second act starts kicking in, and then the movie that like really starts ramping up a bit. But that first act is a bit of a dredge to get through.
Yeah, I think it really picks up when they go to the squatters camp where Keith David's character is staying. What is his name? Is it Frank?
Yeah.
Frank, yeah. Where when they go to the squatter settlement, which is an actual settlement, that wasn't a set. That was an actual settlement in
really?
In the area, yeah. But we get, when everyone's watching the TV at night, we see those scrambled messages from the resistance trying to wake people from their sleep, trying to wake them to the reality. And that's when things start to pick up more, because up to that point, everything is, while bleak, not unusual.
Yeah.
Right?
You're kind of just figuring out exactly like kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like what's exactly like who is this guy? Where is he coming from?
Yeah, and we see the preacher, right? And the blind preacher who is also trying to wake people up. Like the whole church scene, right? Where he goes in there and he discovers that there's the recordings. It's like we're getting further and further down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
We're trying to, it's like, yo, what the hell is going on? This is really weird. What the hell does that mean? They live, we sleep. Like that spray paint on the wall. And then we see like there's these shades in the glass or in these boxes, and you're just like, what the hell is going on?
Well, like the people that he's like kind of spying on, they're all wearing like sunglasses, and they're like, why are they wearing like these sunglasses kind of at night and shit? Kind of like the song. But but once like the cops come in and they raid the whole place, they fuck it all up, and he puts on the glasses and he starts walking through the city. That's a pretty good highlight too. Is he's just like putting them on, putting them off. I feel like it did go a little bit long. I feel like at a certain point, it's like, I got it. Like shit is different. But then it's so creepy to me. Like once he's I think they're just at a little mini
Newspaper
mart,
stand?
or is it a newspaper stand? No, I think it was when they're inside like the store.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's when, because he's just walking through the city.
Real fucking ugly.
Yeah, he's like, when I don't have these on, you look fine. But then when I put these on, it looks like somebody threw formaldehyde in your face or some shit. And that's when like he's got the glasses on, and you're seeing his POV, and you see her speaking to the watch, and she's like, "We got somebody that can see." Bro, that always creeps me the fuck out, because they also say they did a lot of effects practically. Like that's all just makeup that they're wearing.
Yeah, the makeup was great.
Yeah,
I thought that was one of the that's a highlight for me in of itself. The makeup design.
Because even still, like with like how it looks black and white, and even like towards the end when they come out in color, because that's when the transmitter gets destroyed and all that. The makeup and the costume or whatever you want to call it, it looks fantastic. Still.
Also, the way that it ends is so great. With the woman's like fucking the alien on his bed, he's like, baby, what's wrong? And in the credits, I was like, yo, this is such a good ending. That's so fun.
First of all, what is she doing on top? She ain't doing nothing. That girl don't know how to ride.
Yeah, pillow princess, huh?
No, what the fuck you doing? Let me show you how to do it.
What was I going to say, though? Going back to the second act. The second act is my favorite part of this movie.
Yeah, easily.
Listen, I know Nada was unemployed, but I swear to God, this motherfucker could get a job at Sunglass Hut. This motherfucker is a hell of a salesman.
Bro, I'm saying, like, when I was watching this, I am a WWE fan. I grew up on wrestling, and so seeing Rowdy Piper in a movie, like, I haven't watched this since I was a kid, but I definitely watched this when I was younger, just because I would watch anything that a wrestler was in that was like a movie or TV show. And so seeing Roddy Piper in this was just like pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. But revisiting this, I'm like, damn, after we just did Point Break not that long ago. Did we review Point Break, or we did best movie, or no, we did best action movies in the 90s. Yes. And Point Break came up. Yep. And I was just like, Patrick Swayze with that hair. It's like, Mr. Steal Your Girl, you better watch him. Dude, Roddy Piper will give you a run for your money, Patrick, because that motherfucker, once he puts the sunglasses on and he pops in that fucking bank, or was that a bank?
Yeah, he went into the bank.
Oh my God. I was like, dude, Rowdy looks pretty badass.
Dude.
He's got that hair swinging, dude.
Bro, and he gives us, so this is actually a line that he came up with. I have come, when he steps into the bank, he gives us that great line. I have come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. Like, that's such a great dialogue, bro.
He made that up.
Yeah, that was one that. So I was reading up on this movie, and as we discussed, Roddy Piper was a wrestler at that time, and he would carry a notebook when he was traveling of one-liners and things like that to do on stage, and so he showed Carpenter that notebook. And that was one of the ones that he incorporated into the script. Yeah,
I can see that. I mean, like, wrestlers are like super good at like improv because they're shooting promos in front of a live audience every week. So
in the bank, where he's like, when the alien is he's communicating through his watch, and he says, "Mama don't like tattletales." Bro, yo, first of all, this movie is actually, I love the back and forth between black and white when you see him killing them, because you see the blood splatter on the walls of the bank, but it's all in black and white, which is like a really cool, just a stylistic shift.
Did this get rated R?
I would think so, yeah.
Well,
I'm not sure though.
I was just thinking, like, when you mentioned that with like the blood, because like you can get away with certain stuff with PG-13, and I think with it being black and white, I was just thinking, I'm like, I wonder if what kind of rating this movie got, because just like thinking about it, it wasn't like overly like gory or anything like that,
but violent.
But it was I mean, but you could get away with a lot of stuff with PG-13 with some violence. I
mean, yeah, fucking Jaws was PG-13, bro.
I was just thinking randomly, I wonder what kind of rating this got. Actually, let me look it up.
I feel like the 70s might have been a little bit more liberal.
It did get R, okay.
It was R?
Yeah, it was R.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. But dude, another highlight of this movie, obviously you were talking about some of his like iconic lines of this movie with with the bubble gum, and even like the "Mama don't like tattletales," bro. That killed me because I totally forgot about that one. But seeing him and like meet up with Keith David's character, and Keith David's is aware that that Nada has been going on like this killing spree,
killing cops,
yeah,
literally.
And so he's just like, get the fuck away from me, and yada yada yada.
Listen, you crazy mother. When he's like, put these on.
Yeah, bro. I was like, oh no, let me get up to that, because then they meet up in the alley. He shoots him some money, and is just like kind of like, all right, now get the fuck out of here, leave me alone,
go hide. And
Rowdy's trying to save him, and they have this big drawn out fight over
several minutes.
And pretty much when you think about it, it's just he just wants him to put on these glasses. It's just put him on. Just put on some funky ass glasses, man.
But it's the principle. Yo, if that was me, I'm like, listen, we ain't coming to blows like this. We're not gonna throw bows like this over some shades. I'll try them on.
What
the fuck? But
that's what I'm thinking.
This battle goes on for minutes, and it's so fucking good.
It was like at least 6-7 minutes. I wanted to clock it, like of just like pure screen time. just fighting. And they even said, I looked it up too, like I guess Rowdy and David just had a agreement. Like like the punches were real. Just nothing to the face was real, and nothing to like their actual like dick or their groin area was none of that was like real, because they're like, all right, let's leave that out. But all the body blows,
Fair game.
they're fair game.
They looked fucking real.
And I was like, well, like David seems like a crazy motherfucker that want to do that, and we know Piper is a professional wrestler, so he's down to throw some body blows.
Bro, that's crazy. I was wondering. I was like, yo, where are the cuts at for this makeup? Because, when he gets Roddy on the ground and he offers his hand, I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's like, I told you I didn't want to get involved. And, like, decks him. I'm like, bro, that's so dirty. Yeah. And then when Roddy's about to hit him in the nuts, he's like, you dirty mother. And then he fucking headbutts him. Dude, this fight sequence is so good.
David is on top of him, and he's just kneeing him and kneeing him in his fucking dick. I'm like, enough. Bro.
Fucking suplexes him twice.
I was thinking about old boy in Rocky IV when he's just like, throwing the damn towel.
Bro.
Just when you think one person is about to get the upper hand,
nope.
The fight continues. It goes on more and more and more.
They fucked each other up, too, because when they traveled to the hotel after that, oh my God, it looked so battered. It's like, ain't love grand. When they get into the motel room, this shitty ass motel room.
Yeah.
Oh God. But I mean that ends up being like a great jumping point to the like the second part of the act. When they run into the man who was one of the conspirators, right? The revolutionaries.
Yeah.
They run it. He spots them at the motel, and when they go to this town hall meeting, it's pretty cool that they had the contacts that they could use instead of the shades, because like that was one of the things they hinted at was wearing the shades for a long time. Mm-hmm. It really like takes a toll on your mind. But they get the contacts. It's like a fucking military armory with all those guns on the table, and I love the one that Roddy gets with the fucking handlebar.
Yeah,
that shit was filthy. Yo, that alleyway shootout scene was so dope.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite scenes as well.
I was gonna say like the actual like there was just like pretty much I would say like two like real big action set pieces, and it was like those two scenes, and those both were done really well. I feel like they still like stand up. I wanted to quickly go back before we go any further. It's like I just had to make a note, because when he does, like when Rowdy is in, like when they're in Act 1, and he's just like cruising around and he stumbles on like that church and everything, and he meets the priest. Bro, why are you just letting this dude that you just met just rub his hands all over your fucking face?
That was like, I thought that was like, yo, did you wash your hands?
No, I'm just sitting there thinking like, bro,
nobody.
No.
That's insane.
Well, first of all, like if you're blind, I get it. Some people, that's how.
Ask me first.
Yeah, I know. Ask. Like, you don't just sit there and just run up on me like that and put your dirty ass mitts all over my fucking face, bro. Like, what the fuck you thinking?
He said, I know you ain't washed your hands lately, brother. Oh, man. But I mean, one thing I did want to touch on, because I know this was a con for you, was the romantic interest. Yes. First of all, that stunt where he falls out when she knocks him out of the poem, I was like, man, that stunt man is working for their money. Dude. Because that was a nasty tumble.
Well, that's why he had to go and run off in like that tunnel and had to go sleep it off.
I need to recover. Yo,
he had to go get his
nothing broken.
Bro, his health meter bar was deep in red. She buzzed his ass over his head.
Fell through the glass.
Oh my
down
God.
Hills.
And didn't he land back first too?
God, bro, that shit was tough.
Oh my God, yeah, like this.
I'm gonna sleep where I'm at. I'm not moving.
Bro, he went to that tunnel and just almost got into the fetal position. Was just like,
and it was cold out.
He saw those cop cars coming. He's like, oh fuck,
what could go wrong now?
But that is one of my cons of this movie. I mean, to go along with like the Act 1 being a bit slow to get through, the actress, unfortunately, Meg Foster, that played like the love interest of Rowdy Piper, I felt like just her performance was a bit on the stale side. I feel like maybe she could have just did a little bit more with maybe even some of like her emotions and stuff. I just felt like she was just a little bit one note for me, and so it just wasn't. I don't know. She just wasn't very convincing, I suppose.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see what you mean. I was bummed, man, when she killed our boy Frank, man, when they actually get to the moon base.
Oh, my God.
I was like, this dirty bitch.
I know. As soon as she did it, you hear the gunshot. I'm like, oh,
no.
my
First, I was
God.
like, yo, how did Roddy not hear that? I mean, was the door just literally right up there? Because it seemed like he was still been in the stairwell.
Yeah.
But before we get to the final end of this, I liked how they circled back to that theory, right? Because when they're in the meeting with the other revolutionaries, I guess that's the best way I can describe them.
Revolution.
When they're there, she is at that meeting, and one of the members says, so he has a theory that the signal that's being transmitted to humans is coming from the news station tower. And she diffuses that. She's like, no, I work there. It's not happening. I was like, she was planted there to be a mole.
Yeah, yeah.
And I like how they circled back to that was the actual truth. They were transmitting it from the roof of the signal, the roof satellite. But that whole scene where they hear the speech after the police have gunned down all of their compatriots. Oh my God. That shit was brutal, bro. People were catching shots like, couldn't even get a grenade off.
I
was
know,
like,
dude.
damn.
The old boy that they met up with at the beginning, not the beginning, but the guy they saw at the church with sunglasses, dude, he just gets tatted up so quick. He doesn't get
Bro.
he takes nobody with him.
Nobody.
It's like, man, if I gotta die, at least I'm taking somebody with me.
I mean, thankfully they got to the alley and they could bottleneck their numbers, but yeah, that shit was looking dark. It got real dark in there. I said the revolution is over.
Well, honestly, like nobody makes it out of this. I mean, spoiler
No.
alert. I mean, obviously this
No.
these are podcast is a spoiler already.
true.
So, but like honestly, like the ending was fine for me, but I feel like Rowdy's death was just odd in a certain way. Just
Like
like the way
anticlimactic?
it's just like the way it's shot. And almost even like kind of like the way it's acted to. I mean, Rowdy is not going to win any awards for it.
Yeah,
for
the
his
acting in this
or
movie
anything.
isn't great.
He definitely does his pull his
But
weight when
effective.
it comes to like the physicality of the role.
Oh, yeah.
And the hair. But when he gets shot, I just feel like I don't know. It just almost doesn't even look like he's shot. Like it just feels so weird, and he just falls off camera.
Yeah, I thought for a second I was expecting he was going to do something else, but he just falls back.
Yeah, it just
So that was.
It's
But
shot,
I
it
did
felt
like that he
odd.
gave him the finger as he's dying.
Yeah.
I did like that. That kind of saved the moment. But yeah, otherwise it was kind of it was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah,
But the middle finger
I do like the middle finger.
kind of saved it. You know, it did stick the landing in that sense.
You could kind of see like off camera. I'm not sure if they even wanted it on camera, but you see his hand like kind of have to push his other hand up to do that. So I was like, that's a nice little subtle detail. He's just like, I can't lift my own arm, but I got this arm to do it for me.
Fuck you.
But like I
Yeah.
said, even just like how you said how he falls back just off camera, and even just like how you just see just the camera angle they chose, just felt a little odd. Just just from my perspective.
Yeah. I think even before that, though, a highlight was when they first arrived to the ship and they hear the speech from one of the aliens to the crowd full of humans and some aliens, basically saying, "Hey, like we've lined your pockets. You guys have come out 38% higher than last year.
Yeah.
And these human beings, these are like the elites of human society, and they're just celebratory in their greed." And there's a line in this movie that I can't remember. Well, there's two really good lines in this movie from from Frank's character. One was like, he who, what was the one he had? He who has the gold makes the rule. But then there's another line in this movie about how remember when they get to the hotel and they're talking about what they're going to do, and Keith David says something to the effect of, they're exploiting our own greed, that the worst in us. And I thought that was very like real. Like,
Yeah.
I loved like the themes that this movie deals with.
Yeah. Well, that's why you mentioned like why it's very still relevant to this day of like, because of the themes of this movie, why it could easily be remade or doing a sequel to it. Maybe not even a sequel. It could just be like just modernized, I suppose, like just up the effects or maybe up maybe some of the choreography a little bit, even like with the fight scenes.
Oh yeah, you can even bring back an actual contemporary wrestler. Like I could totally see like somebody like Chris Benoit, in a role like this.
Well, that dude is all like from back in the day.
Well, now
He's gone. He's dead.
I'm sorry, not Chris Benoit. I'm sorry, Chris Jericho. My fault.
Yeah,
Chris Jericho. I'm
that
sorry.
dude is done.
Great wrestler, tragic person.
Yeah.
Disgusting, even. But no, I could see Chris Jericho in a role like this.
Yeah,
because he actually has screen presence too.
Yeah, I could see him doing it. I wish it would be maybe a younger Chris Jericho though, because that's when he had the hair flowing. He had those locks. Like, who's somebody who has like golden locks like nowadays? I feel like the long hair on dudes isn't very. You don't see it as often as you would maybe back in the 80s. Everybody keeps it nice and high and tight nowadays. Or I guess the mullet is now. It kind of in style, unfortunately. But I don't know who would have like the hair. Just speaking on like the hair that would pull off like this role nowadays. That would be interesting to think about.
Yeah. What I was going to say, I love the tour though that they get at the facility where this guy is breaking it down to how they're doing it and how that this species, they're free enterprisers, I think is what they referred to. One thing that I do go to call out, Carpenter described this movie as a primal scream against Reaganomics. Yeah, because it's this dropped in '88, right? I thought that was interesting, but there's that really unfortunate but telling line that the guy that's giving them the tour says. He says, we all sell out every day. Might as well be on the winning team. I'm just like, damn, bro. Yeah. We have you no shame, sir.
Well, it's like what was it? Oh boy, in Blade 2 that just popped in my mind when he's like when Norman Reedus' character double crosses Blade, and he's like, I'd rather be like cattle than food or something like that. Yeah. And so it's just like, man,
before he blows him up.
Yeah, it's like you thought that was a dud. Oh man, Blade. We'll have to do a Blade review at some point. Man. Yeah. But I'm ready to maybe. I don't think I have any other things I want to touch on.
I talked about my negative. Most of my negative revolves around the first act just being a little bit slower. Yeah. But I love the themes of this movie. I mean, I'll kick us off with scores. I mean, for me, this is a 3.5. It's a very entertaining movie. Really fun. There's no great acting in this movie. It can be campy at times, but it is absolutely entertaining. And the acting is not great, but effective. Yeah. The fight scenes, the action scenes. I think the visuals of this movie, it has a lot going for it. I think it's more. It's earned its cult status. In Carpenter's filmography. So yeah, I do recommend this movie. It's not the starting point for Carpenter by any means. I would say that's probably Halloween and or The Thing. Yeah. But still, absolutely, if you're a fan of Carpenter, I would definitely see this.
Yeah, I think I'm going with a 3. But I'm going to pretty much give it the same positive and almost negatives as you would. It's a very entertaining movie. Once you kind of get through the first act, although it is a little on the slow side, you have some stuff that can that can hold you as far as like maybe the score can keep you entertained or just like, or when like the radio broadcast like starts like coming in. There's some things about it that can at least keep you interested until that second act starts kicking in, because once the second act kicks in, then the whole story like really starts unfolding.
Hits a different gear.
Yeah, and it's kind of like we mentioned with like They Clone Tyrone, where it's just like one thing starts folding and then you just start going down the rabbit hole in a way. Yeah. The fight scenes are great, the effects are still great, the themes are still relevant. There's so many positive things about this movie, but it's just not one of my favorite Carpenter movies. That easily is Halloween and The Thing. But it's still an enjoyable movie. You get Rowdy Piper giving you some good action. You're not going to get like you said, you're not going to get any best acting awards getting thrown out. But if you could get through the first act and get through, unfortunately, of the negative acting that's on the love interest, then I feel like you're going to enjoy this movie. And especially if you're a John Carpenter fan, I definitely feel like you'll enjoy this. So that is my score for this movie, man.
All right. Well, that's our episode this week. Before we end, though, do you have anything on your radar? I know I got something.
Well, I definitely went to see Together. We talked about this a bit off mic, but I'll definitely mention it again. Went to go see it because like the trailers looked awesome. I've heard really good reviews about it. And I kind of like went in a little bit blind. I knew about it, but I didn't watch too many trailers. But it was fantastic, honestly. Not to the same level, I would say, like a Substance as far as like the body horror. But the effects were really good. Like the sound design was so creepy. Like when they're kind of meshing together and like the bones are like almost like it sounds like they're breaking, but they're becoming one. The chemistry between Alison Brie and Dave Franco should be evident. I mean, they are a married couple in real life, but it's good to see that they have not only like good screen chemistry as well. But the effects are great. The story's really good. There's like a bit of a, not to say like a huge twist to it, but there's a little twist to like the story. It ends on a little bit of a, I want to say a whimper, but they do so many good things. And like it's only like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. The last 10 minutes or so is a little like it maybe loses a little bit of steam. Okay. But they do so many good things that it doesn't, they land the plane, so to speak. Okay. So if you haven't seen Together, definitely check that movie out. I think you're going to be definitely thoroughly surprised, especially if you like something like The Substance from last year. Definitely check it out. What's on your radar, man?
By the time this episode drops, Weapons will be out.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see this movie. Really strong cast from what I've seen.
Silver Surfer.
The trailer looks creepy as hell. I'm hyped to see this movie. Can't wait. That's what's on my radar.
Yeah, dude. I don't even want to see like any more previews or any more trailers. Like, I saw like Wong. The dude, is it? Does he play Wong? Is that
Wong's
him?
character is in
there. Yeah, he's in there, but like his face looked fucked up. Like he was throwing up some black goo or some shit. I don't know, but just like when you hear the kid talks, like the narrator, and she's just like, "There's a lot of like a lot of people that die in really weird ways in this movie." I was like, "What the fuck?" But then they also say this based on a true story. I'm like, is that real or y'all just fucking with me right now?
Yeah.
Because I'm smoking a lot of weed right now. So don't be playing with me. But dude, I'm hyped for that movie so much.
Hell yeah. Well, that's our episode this week. Stay tuned. Catch y'all next week.
Peace.